Majin waking up one morning and realizing the world is just one push of a button away from total annihilation. This wasn't fiction. This was the Cold War. Two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, locked in a silent battle that could have ended civilization itself. No battlefield could contain it, no nation could ignore it, and no human could escape its shadow. The story begins in 1945, with mushroom clouds over Hiroshima and Nagasaki. America had revealed the deadliest weapon ever created, and the Soviets knew they had to catch up. Within just 4 years, the USSR detonated its own atomic bomb. The nuclear arms race had begun. By the 1950s, both sides moved beyond atomic bombs to hydrogen bombs, weapons 1,000 times more powerful. Cities were no longer just vulnerable, they could be erased from the map in seconds. This chilling reality birthed a new doctrine, mutually assured destruction, or MAD. The idea was terrifyingly simple. If one side struck first, both would be destroyed. But bombs alone weren't enough. The real contest was delivery. The Soviets built the R-7, the world's first intercontinental ballistic missile. The US countered with Minuteman missiles, hidden deep underground in silos. Soon, both superpowers had submarines carrying nuclear missiles under the seas. Invisible, silent, unstoppable. America even brought in former Nazi scientists through Operation Paperclip. Werner von Braun, the man behind Hitler's V-2 rockets, was now designing missiles and space rockets for the US. Ethically controversial, yes. Strategically vital, absolutely. The doctrines guiding these nations told the story of their fears. Truman's doctrine in 1947 promised to stop communism anywhere in the world. Eisenhower extended that promise to the Middle East. Kennedy took the fight to Latin America, leading to disasters like the Bay of Pigs invasion. Carter later declared that America would fight for oil in the Persian Gulf if the Soviets advanced, and Reagan, he vowed to fund anti-communist fighters everywhere, from Nicaragua to Afghanistan. On the Soviet side, their doctrine was rooted in ideology. Capitalism had to be contained, crushed, and replaced by socialism. They perfected deep operation strategies, massive offensives designed to break through NATO lines. Their tanks, like the T-55, rolled across proxy battlefields. Their AK-47 rifles, simple, rugged, deadly, spread across continents. To millions, the AK became the symbol of revolution. But perhaps the most chilling symbol was the Typhoon-class submarine, the largest ever built, complete with swimming pools and saunas for its crew. Each one carried 20 missiles, each missile with 10 nuclear warheads. Just one submarine could wipe out an entire continent. And yet, despite this overwhelming firepower, the war stayed cold. Because instead of direct battles, they fought in the shadows. Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Angola. These became the killing grounds of the Cold War, where millions died in proxy wars. The Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 brought the world within 13 days of nuclear annihilation. Soviet missiles in Cuba, US blockades at sea, and the fate of humanity hanging by a thread. One wrong move, one miscalculation, and none of us would be here today. Both nations tested the skies too. The US unveiled the B-52, and later, the stealth bomber. The Soviets responded with the Tu-160 Blackjack, a supersonic beast carrying nuclear cruise missiles. Even art in the sky was war. But behind the numbers and strategies were people, families living under constant fear of nuclear sirens. Soldiers drilled for wars they hoped would never come. Children in American schools practiced duck and cover, while Soviet children trained for chemical attacks. The Cold War was not just about weapons, it was about psychology. Who could terrify the other more? Who could project power further? And who would blink first? In the end, it wasn't missiles that ended the Cold War. It was exhaustion. The USSR collapsed under its own weight, its economy shattered by endless military spending. The US emerged as the lone superpower, but at a cost. Decades of paranoia, proxy wars, and fear scarred both nations and the world. So, ask yourself, was this really a victory, or just survival? Because the legacy of the Cold War remains today. Thousands of nuclear weapons still sit armed and ready. Submarines still prowl the oceans. And military doctrines still plan for wars we pray never come. The Cold War ended without a shot between superpowers. But make no mistake, it was the closest humanity has ever come to ending itself. If this story gripped you, subscribe to Global Past. Because history isn't just about the past. It's the warning written for our future.